Good evening, I'm Ava, and welcome to NFL Trending, where we bring you the most talked about stories across the National Football League. Tonight, we're focusing on a growing controversy in Cleveland, where the Browns find themselves split over their rookie quarterback situation. The discussion centers on Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, two names that have dominated headlines since draft night, and now, questions about their futures are creating real debate inside and outside the franchise. The Cleveland Browns entered this season with hopes of stability at the quarterback position, something the franchise has chased for decades. After investing draft capital into Dillon Gabriel and exploring the upside of Shedeur Sanders, the organization believed it was building toward long-term security under center. Instead, what we've seen so far has been a whirlwind of differing opinions, sharp analysis, and mounting doubt. Let's start with Dillon Gabriel. Known for his prolific college career, Gabriel was touted as a smart, accurate passer who could step in quickly and execute an offense with precision. Scouts praised his football IQ, decision-making, and ability to process the field. But questions about arm strength, size, and durability lingered, even on draft day. Now, after a rocky start to his NFL career, some within the Browns organization are questioning whether he has the tools to succeed against faster defenses and more complex schemes. Fans and analysts who defend Gabriel point out that he's been thrust into a difficult situation. Cleveland's offensive line has been inconsistent, protection has broken down far too often, and the playbook has been adjusted week by week. Supporters argue that no rookie quarterback could thrive under these conditions, and Gabriel deserves patience. They believe his intelligence, leadership, and accuracy will eventually shine through, once the offense around him settles into a rhythm. But the critics are louder than ever. They point to missed opportunities, lack of explosive throws, and the inability to extend plays when the pocket collapses. Some analysts argue that Gabriel may be a solid backup at best, but not the kind of dynamic playmaker Cleveland needs to compete in an AFC stacked with superstar quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen. The harsh reality is that in today's NFL, good enough is rarely enough, and the Browns know it. Now, let's shift to Shedeur Sanders. The son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, Shedeur entered the NFL with a spotlight brighter than most rookies could handle. His college career showcased talent, poise, and the kind of leadership that made him one of the most intriguing prospects in the draft. The hype around him was undeniable, and many expected him to compete directly for the starting role in Cleveland. However, things have not gone as smoothly as some anticipated. Sanders has shown flashes of brilliance, the quick release, the ability to push the ball downfield, and the calmness under pressure, but he has also struggled with consistency. Decision-making has been a challenge, and adjusting to NFL-level defenses has exposed areas where he still needs development. Inside the Browns organization, the opinions on Sanders vary just as drastically as those surrounding Gabriel. Some coaches and players believe Shedeur has the higher ceiling. They see him as a long-term project who, with proper development, could grow into a franchise quarterback. His arm strength, mobility, and natural charisma make him a compelling option for the future. Others, though, remain skeptical, arguing that Sanders is far from ready to lead an NFL offense and that Cleveland cannot afford to waste valuable seasons waiting for him to catch up. The debate is spilling beyond the locker room. Analysts across the league are weighing in, with some calling Sanders the Browns' best bet for the future, while others believe the hype surrounding his name has overshadowed the real concerns about his readiness. Fans are equally divided. On social media, one camp rallies behind Sanders, claiming he represents the excitement and upside Cleveland desperately needs. Another camp insists that Gabriel, despite his flaws, is the steadier, safer option to manage games and keep the Browns competitive in the short term. This quarterback controversy comes at a pivotal time for the Browns. The AFC North is arguably the toughest division in football, with the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers all fielding competitive teams. For Cleveland to keep pace, stability at quarterback is not a luxury, it's a necessity. With both Gabriel and Sanders struggling to cement themselves as the guy, frustration is mounting. What makes this situation even more complex is the Browns' recent history. The franchise has cycled through quarterback after quarterback, searching for a long-term answer. From high draft picks to free agent experiments, Cleveland fans have seen it all, and patience is wearing thin. The fear is that this current situation, with two young quarterbacks vying for a future that still looks uncertain, could set the team back yet again. League insiders suggest that the Browns' front office is already debating its options. Do they ride it out with Gabriel, hoping his steady play improves as he gains more experience? Do they give Sanders more opportunities, betting on his upside and charisma to develop into something special? Or do they explore yet another option through trades or next year's draft? None of these choices are simple, and each comes with its risks. Meanwhile, the rest of the roster is not waiting. Cleveland boasts one of the league's top defenses, with Myles Garrett leading the charge and the secondary playing at an elite level. The defense has kept the Browns in games they otherwise might have lost, and players are hungry for postseason success. That only adds pressure on the quarterback situation, because wasting a championship-caliber defense on inconsistent quarterback play would be a painful mistake. In the bigger picture, the Gabriel-Sanders debate highlights a truth about the NFL. Finding a franchise quarterback is the hardest, most important task in the game. Teams can draft smartly, build rosters, and hire the right coaches, but without the right leader under center, success is fleeting. For the Browns, the hope is that one of these two rookies can rise to the challenge. But hope, as Cleveland fans know all too well, has not always translated into results. For now, both Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders will continue to develop, compete, and fight for their futures in Cleveland. The team remains supportive publicly, emphasizing patience and growth, but behind the scenes, the conversations are serious. Every practice, every snap, and every game feels like an audition, not just for the season, but for the direction of the franchise moving forward. As we watch this story unfold, one thing is clear: the Browns are at a crossroads. Drastically differing opinions inside the building and across the fan base have made this quarterback situation one of the NFL's most fascinating storylines. The coming weeks and months will determine whether Cleveland can finally end its search for a quarterback, or if the cycle of uncertainty continues. That's all for tonight's edition of NFL Trending. I'm Ava. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned for more coverage on this developing story and all the biggest headlines around the league. Until next time, keep watching, keep debating, and keep trending with the NFL.